Can I start, sir?
Yes, please.
So good evening, everyone. Today I'm going to tell you about the book I read. So the name of the book is Sakura Days, and the name of the author is Avinash Bhide. To tell you in short, Avinash Bhide is an Indian engineer who went to Japan for a process for a project his company through his company, and he has written his diary when he was there. So this book is the compilation of some parts of his diary, in which he has written what he experienced in Japan. So now I'd like to tell you what I thought about this book. The first thing I'd like to say is I've always been an anime fan, so I've always wanted to go to Japan. After reading this book, my desire to go there has increased. Second, there is so much we can learn from every simple experience that we have. Like we often think that to learn something there should be some big incident, but it's not like that. We can learn from every small experience. And the third thing is we have a lot of cognitive distortions as we have learned in our daily life. But what I found more interesting is that these are not just limited to individuals, but some cognitive distortions are like the and particular entire society has that sort of uh, cognitive distortion. So the book was very short but sweet, and it was full of many valuable lessons. So now I'd like to tell you what I got to learn from the book through our counseling or psychology perspective. So there are basically two people in this book. So the author and all the other Japanese people with whom he interacts. So first I'll tell you what I found about the author. So in many points in the book, the author has cognitive distortions like generalization, which is overgeneralization, um, magnification, and he has also displayed irrational thinking at many times. One instance I'd like to say is that once the author had to visit a very like five-star restaurant, and he was in his company clothes, which were all soiled due to working in the factory. So he thought that as in India, we if we go wearing that to a five-star restaurant, people judge us, and many times we are not even allowed in the restaurant. So the author thought that this was such a big thing that he insisted the Japanese people that I won't come because it is not correct. Whereas after going to the restaurant in those same clothes, he realized that it is not that wearing the clothes as it is in India, as people judge in India, they don't look at you like that in Japan. So he realized. So that time I thought that he was generalizing the fact that wearing certain type of clothes at a certain place is not correct. The other things I found is the author had unconditional acceptance to all the Japanese laws or all their cultures and whatever he got to learn new. And he was very curious throughout the book. Like if there was some incident, then he always used to ask his like co-workers, Japanese co-workers, that why is it so. And when the person told him something, he used to ask further questions. So he was using a lot of open-ended questions throughout the book. And also there were many strokes, like we have learned positive strokes and negative strokes. So there were many strokes included by the author, which he was giving to the Japanese people. Now coming to the Japanese people, so there were his co-workers and some other people he met in the city. So in Japanese people, the basic first thing was unconditional acceptance. Like I said, the author was very curious and he kept on asking about everything, and he asked many silly questions. And but still, his coworker was very quiet and very silently. He accepted the fact that okay, he doesn't know. He's asking. There, no one in the entire book, no Japanese person judged the author. So there is a collective unconditional acceptance in Japan, which I find like I have not seen it in India. I myself, I have not seen it in India. The second thing is behavior modification, which we have seen, like reward and punishment. So the Japanese have done this for themselves. Like in their company, if one person makes a mistake, he himself knows what he has done wrong and uh, what punishment he has to like what are the effects. So it's not that someone else has to come and tell you that no, this is your mistake, now you have to do this. The Japanese take responsibility of what they have done, and also there is reattribution, which is like they everyone takes equal responsibility for the task. So if there are 5 people working on one task, if the task goes wrong, no one blames that it was because of one person. Everyone says that it was our equal responsibility, and what we did was equally everyone's mistake, and everyone whatever was positive, that was also equal in everyone. The other thing is they respond and not react. So and there is a lot of empathy. So for this, I'd like to give an example is when the author was traveling through a metro and he lost his ticket. So in India, what happens is that you lost the ticket, they immediately make you get down on the next station. But in Japan, the ticket collector listened to what he was saying, he understood the reason, and he thought and then gave him a solution that I'll give you a written notice. Once you go home, you either find the ticket and submit it, or then you bring the receipt to me and pay for the ticket again. So they try to understand what the other person may be going through and find a solution through that, which I found very interesting. Uh, and also there's selective attention. The Japanese, they really want to focus on what is important, other than focusing on what the other things are. So whatever the task is, they focus on what is important, not on the unimportant factors. The Japanese have a very strong self-talk. Like I said, they know what they did, and they know what they are supposed to do. So Japan has been able to achieve a zero defect policy, which is that none of their products have any defect. So when the author asked how they could do that, so his coworker explained that because everyone knew what his responsibility was and what was to be done, there was no need for monitoring anything, and everyone was doing their 100%, and that's why they could achieve this. So I found that when we are doing something, giving our 100%, the basic reason behind it is our self-talk, that we are telling ourselves that yes, we can do it, we have to do it like this, and that is why we can do it. Otherwise, external pressure, of course it works, but what one can achieve if your self talk is correct is very different from what one can achieve due to external pressure. And this was like this I saw in the book in many 3-4 incidents like this. I gave only one example right now. Also, as we have seen in Johari window, that there are some things that others know but we don't know, or there are some things that we don't know but others don't know. So the Japanese have tried, are always in a process to widen their Johari window. That is the first window where others also know and we also know, because they always communicate. Like in the company, for example, they have said that they always have they have a group called quality circle, in which they discuss what is being done, what else can be done, and what will be more productive. So they discuss with each other. Like if I know something about the other person, or if I know something that the other person is doing incorrectly, or maybe there is more efficient ways. So they share, they give feedback, they take feedback, and they try to grow together as a group. That is why their production and that zero defect policy that I said, that is still working. Other some basic things that I saw are the Japanese have a lot of discipline, punctuality, clarity in what they are doing, and they are very particular about cleanliness, uh, safety, and they have a lot of planning, and there is equality. For this, I'd like to give an example that when on the first day in the company, the author saw that all the employees of the company, right from the CEO to the janitor, everyone was together doing morning exercises that were held for 10 minutes. So at that time, it was not that, okay, only the employees have to do, the CEO doesn't have to do it, or only the workers have to do it, and the like office people don't have to do it. There was nothing like that. Everyone was treated with equality, and this was reflected many times throughout the book. This is just one example of that. Also, the very famous kaizen, which is continuous development, was also mentioned in the book. And Japanese tend to apply this not only to their professional but also to their personal life. So they try to improve themselves other than rather than improving others. Like, if this is not going wrong, what can I do for it, instead of thinking what other people are going to do or what they are supposed to do. So this was also reflected in the book. Also, the Japanese people over there also gave a lot of positive strokes to the author, because as he was new at that place, he needed a lot of support. So that was also provided by the Japanese people. And somehow in all this, what I found was that, as we have seen in transactional analysis, so the free child in Japanese people is a little less. This is what I felt, because they have they have a lot of rules, and they have some strict self-talk that they have developed themselves, of course. But because of that, somewhere I think that their free child is a little less in general, not a specific person, but in general. So this is what I thought, and it is a very nice book, and I suggest to all to read it once. Thank you.
Wonderful, Yukta. Excellent. Very easily and aptly, you have correlated the counseling course point with this particular book.
Thank you, sir.
Very nice. Yes. आणखीन कोणाला डिस्कस करायचं आहे सो या बुक बद्दल? एनीवन टू आस्क समथिंग?